you are looking to learn more about IT or study for one of the many certifications, sign up for a free trial of Pluralsight. Their vast library offers many courses ranging from software development, IT operations, and cybersecurity. Please check the link in the description for more information. If you There we go. All right, what's going on, YouTube? Figures I would fail right off the bat trying to go live, and the baby's trying to not sleep. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are all doing very well. It's been a heck of a week for me. Let me tell you guys about my week before we get any further into this live stream, because a lot has happened since last Friday. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before. So right before Christmas, my daughter, my middle daughter, she's 7 years old, she came home and she was sick. She started throwing up. Great times, right? Not really, not so much, right? So Friday she starts puking. It's fine. No big deal. Saturday, things are pretty kosher, right? Saturday, everything's all right. I mean, daughter's still a little bit sick. Sunday, however, Sunday was a day. Sunday was a very bad day. Sunday, this past Sunday, not yesterday Sunday, one before, my oldest daughter, who's 11 years old, we bought her a huge, like, beanbag chair. This chair literally weighs 80 pounds. No joke. It's huge. It's ginormous. It's like 6 foot wide or something. It's ridiculous. It's huge. She was taking it down the stairs, and she had the brilliant idea that she was going to ride this beanbag down the stairs. Well, it didn't work out too well for her because she fell off of the beanbag and hit her head and broke her neck. So my oldest daughter, my 11-year-old, on Sunday, the day before Christmas Eve, she broke her neck. And it was not fun. It was not a fun day at all. So that happened, and then my baby that night, on Sunday night, last Sunday night, he woke up in the middle of the night puking, and he's almost 2, he's like 18 months, so he's practically 2, right? He woke up puking in the middle of the night, which was absolutely terrible. And then that same morning, the next morning, on Christmas Eve, I woke up puking. So Christmas essentially got canceled for us because everybody was sick or broken, and the sickness has continued throughout the week. So and the oldest, of course, still has her broken neck. The baby still has some sickness. My middle daughter still has some sickness. I have not been doing too well, but that's okay. I'm much better now. So I've been kind of MIA. I haven't been doing live streams because of this, because of all the chaos that's been happening. But yes, my daughter is okay. Hello, everybody in the chat. I hope everyone's doing great today. My daughter that broke her neck is okay. She's in a neck brace for at least the next 6 weeks or so. So I do feel quite bad for her. But everybody's on the up and up now. So there's that. It's been a heck of a week. It's been nuts. So anyway, let's get into some stuff today. I guess before I begin, also the Security Plus study group, that's going to be starting up well, next year, so tomorrow, really. Actually, we're going to wait till probably about Wednesday, Thursday, before we really get that started. But we got the Facebook group created for the Security Plus study group. So if you guys are interested in that, there's a link in the description below for this live stream. You guys can join. You get 50% off of your Security Plus voucher. You have to sign up for their CertMaster Plus program through CompTIA. And you guys basically study along with me and with a few other people that we have in this study group. And we will follow up with each other once a week. And then hopefully by the beginning of March, we'll all be Security Plus certified, which is going to be super exciting. I've talked about this many times, like a broken record. But one thing I should probably mention is that you have to be signed up with the CompTIA website, to logged into their website, signed up with a username and password that you created for the CompTIA website. You have to add the CertMaster Plus, CertMaster Security Plus learning thing to your shopping cart. And then you have to add the Security Plus voucher to your shopping cart. Then you add the coupon, and then you should get the 50%. Anyway, yeah, that's what the Security Plus thing is all about. I'm really excited about that because it's going to be a fun experience. I'm actually excited to be doing it along with people too. And then the CCNA stuff, that has been really exciting because I've been doing David Bomble's course, which I talked about in videos, so I'm like a broken record. But yeah, we're going through the CCNA stuff, which right now I'm going through the subnetting part, which it's fine. I understand most of it. One thing that I was really surprised about when I was going through the CCNA stuff, which more or less goes with the CCENT stuff because it's more the beginner stuff that you're learning, but learning about binary and stuff like that. I was learning about binary last year around this time and tried to get like a good handle on it, and then I kind of stopped because I had other things going on. But the fact that I like learned the binary stuff last year and then like had to go through it again now, like I don't know how I remembered everything that I did, but I remembered everything. And I was able to kind of go through like these quizzes that David Bomble has within the course that I purchased from him. And it's basically like an assessment type of thing, so you challenge yourself or whatever, see if you can answer these questions. And I nailed them all. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I remembered this. Like, I can't believe that I actually went through this and like I didn't have to like look anything up. It was one of the most like, I don't know, it was like one of the most gratifying feelings I think I've had in a very long time, that I actually remembered something and I actually like went through with it, did it, learned something. I don't know, it was really, really cool. So I was just super excited about that. Not that binary is like a huge part of your Cisco studies. It's a great knowledge to have, just the understanding of it. The biggest thing that you're going to worry about with binary is if you receive it on your actual exam when you go to take one of your CCNA tests or CCENT tests. Otherwise, I mean, you have the internet for everything. So once you actually get out in the field, what the heck do you need to know binary for anyway? But it was exciting that just the fact that I actually remembered it and could do it. I was super pumped about that. So anyway, so there's that. Been doing a lot of that. I actually have a switch going right now that as I was going through David Bomble's course, I started configuring it, following along with him basically, which was really exciting because I've configured a switch before a long time ago, and I did it with one of our network administrators that I was working with, so I didn't really have to know much because they were kind of telling me what to do along the way, much like with this David Bomble thing, but the fact that I was able to just kind of follow along and program or config my own switch initially, that was really fun. Like I was excited about that. And I did it all from my bedroom because I had a remote into my machine that was out here. It was just like this fun experience that I got to do, and I was just really excited about it. Just like I don't know, it was exciting. Like I've been like super excited lately about the things that I'm going to be doing, and I hope that my excitement can come through to you guys, and you guys can be excited about something also. So I guess that's why I'm talking about all this exciting stuff and just trying to get you guys pumped up. I hope you guys have some things that you're looking forward to do or looking forward to doing in the new year. Like if you guys are looking to get certifications, please be excited about it because it's fun. It's a fun time. It's actually fun learning new things, especially if you really, really enjoy IT. It's fun to learn new stuff. It's fun to keep yourself engaged and just keep gaining more knowledge. I don't know. I guess for me, there's just something about it that it just drives me. I always want to learn more. So I hope that many of you who are out there watching right now, or if you watch this replay, you guys get excited about stuff. Get excited about learning new stuff. That's what IT is all about. It's all about learning new stuff always. So I'll check the chat. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in now. I'll check it out. if I can. I saw somebody is offended that I'm wearing a black hat. I don't know why you're offended that I'm wearing a black hat. I bought the hat when I was at the Black Hat Conference, and I always wear hats, and like every single video that you ever see, I have a hat on. And it's just whatever hat that is nearest to me that I can throw on, and I mean, nobody wants to see this. Like, nobody wants to see this crazy hair, right? I mean, you guys much rather at least have a hat on, right? Come on now. So anyway, yes, Happy New Year to everybody. It's going to be fun. You're studying for Security Plus. What should you focus on more? Well, Christian, I'm going to be studying for the Security Plus also, so I can let you know as I'm going through it. I'll let you know. I think basically, as we start our Security Plus study group, I'll be checking in weekly. I'll be doing weekly videos on the progress that I'm making, on the things that I'm learning, and I'll pretty much be putting within those weekly videos some of the most important things that I've learned from my progress throughout the week. So my goal is, because the CertMaster Learn course is about 40-something hours, 44 hours, I think, all in all, that I'll do about 5 to 7 hours of studying a week at a bare minimum. And when I do my weekly check-in, I'll basically go over and say, you know, this is what I've learned so far within the Security Plus group, within the Security Plus course that I'm taking. These are some of the highlights I think that are most important that I picked up from the studying. You know, I feel like I know a lot of what I've already went through already, which is great, but I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that I don't know, and you know, some of that stuff will come out in the weekly videos that I do with the follow-up. So I would just stay tuned for those videos, and then from there you'll kind of see what you should focus on the most, if that makes sense. Hi Sparrow Films, your Dell desktop went out, won't power on, motherboard fried, or your power supply is fried. So there's that. Let's see. IT guy, what degree would you recommend that makes a decent salary and doesn't truly deal with coding? Not trying to say, hey, coding, you just took a class long ago and you're terrible at it. Well, there are degrees out there that really have not much to do with coding. Honestly, it doesn't matter what degree you get. I would focus more on the certifications. The degree is just something that is going to be like a hard requirement for some places, and then most of the time they don't even they don't even care what degree that you have. They just care that you have a degree. I can go into a long tirade about degrees. They're great, but they're also terrible in some ways too. Not terrible in like a very, very terrible way, but it just makes no sense how people, how some businesses hold a value to a degree, and then most of the time they don't care if your degree is in liberal arts or you got a degree in culinary or something, for instance. All they care is that you have a degree, and you're all of a sudden qualified to work in their IT department just because you have a degree. Of course, you probably have to have some kind of experience or something to help along those lines, but it's ridiculous. We can go into bigger tirades on that another day. Nick Whittington, you're working on your CCENT CCNA right now. You hope to be able to knock out tests by February. Good luck to you. Seriously, good luck, man. I wish you the best. Jonathan, where did I get my glasses? My glasses are a Walmart special. I think these glasses cost me like $60 or something. Really cheap. What's going on, Steven? Happy New Year. Catherine, how are you doing, ma'am? It's good to see you. Always happy to see you here. What is the average salary for CCNA certified in U.S.? I'll throw a spitball out there that would say like the average salary that you might find with somebody with a CCNA would be around $50,000 a year. That's just because you have a CCNA. So that's just saying I have a CCNA. What's the average salary? That's not saying you have a CCNA and you're a network admin. That's just saying, hey, you have a CCNA. I don't know what job you have, but you have a CCNA. Now, what is the average job salary for somebody with their CCNA and who is a network administrator, for instance? I mean, then you could be looking up 70, 80. It depends. It depends on your area. I know you said in U.S., but it really depends on the area. The salary ranges just are insane in the U.S. because of where you live. Alex, which course am I studying for the Security Plus? I'm doing CertMaster Learn through CompTIA. There's a link in the description, I believe. Not. Yeah, no, I have a link to it. There's information about it here. How do you get into cybersecurity as a career? I have many videos on that. Not many. I have quite a few videos, though, on that can answer that question for you very easily. Why did I decide to study Security Plus instead of CCNA first? I think there's a lot of reasons why I chose the Security Plus instead of the CCNA first. And none of them really, I don't think they're all, I don't think any of the reasons that I picked to do the Security Plus first matter necessarily. It's just, it was a personal choice, honestly. I wanted to do the Security Plus. CompTIA was gracious enough to help me along the way with the Security Plus, where they're sponsoring it, and it just worked out. It's something that I'm really interested in. I'm more interested in the Security Plus than the CCNA. At a personal level, like the CCNA is something I've always wanted to have. I've always been interested in it. But because, you know, the cybersecurity field is where I would really love to end up, I wanted to do something that I knew that I would enjoy right off the bat, like thoroughly enjoy and like gain some knowledge from, and just feel good about. So there's not really a good reason why I picked it. It's just, this is my personal choice. Why is coding such a pain in the beginning? You're starting to use Python. Well, Python is definitely the easiest programming language to learn. So it definitely can be a pain. I definitely can feel your pain there with you because I hate programming as well. But as somebody who started to learn PHP like way back in probably like 19 years ago, 18 years ago, it's about to be 2000, yeah, 19 years ago actually, PHP scared the ever living crap out of me, and I only understood like very basics of PHP, and I didn't want to understand more than that, and I was immediately turned off from programming right from the get-go on that. But I had to learn PHP for some of the things that I was doing. But yeah, it was so impossible for me to learn. Like, I just could not get it. So for me, when I started learning Python like last year, when I really like dove deep into it, it was probably the easiest language that I think that I could have picked to learn like at a beginner level. I think a lot of people would say that too. But yeah, Python's awesome. I hope I said Python before. I just said it, but anyway, long day already. But yeah, Python's easy, kind of. Just try it. Well, thanks, Broski. I haven't had somebody call me Broski in a long time. It used to be one of my World of Warcraft characters' names, Broski. That's hilarious. Sorry, reminiscing. But you're welcome, Broski. You have a degree in cyber systems, and you're pushing for Security Plus and CCNA after that. That sounds like a good plan. That sounds like my plan almost, yeah. And so Nick says CCNA network admin can be in 60 to 100K in Houston. So yeah, that's what you would see in Chicago too, around Chicago, that same range right there. You eventually want to get into cybersecurity, you'd love to be a penetration tester on the side. Good luck, you could definitely do it. James, hi IT guy, Happy New Year. You're super torn at the moment from your CS degree. In your second year, can specialize in either software development or networks. Which would you say is better route? Whichever route you choose that interests you the most is the best route for you. How about that? I could tell you all day which one would interest me more or which one could potentially pay you more money, but you have to do it because it's something that you enjoy. Like, choose a route because you've looked into it, you understand what each different route, you know, where each different route will take you, and choose the one that you think you will enjoy the most, because there's really not a right or a wrong answer. You know, the wrong answer is you pick the route that you actually don't enjoy, and that would be terrible. You're only picking that route because it makes more money or something ridiculous. You know, choose the route that you will enjoy because it's something you're going to be doing for a while. It's something that you're going to be studying for a while. And as you say, you start off with networking, and you know, you enjoy it for 10 years, right? And then that 11th year hits and you're like, I hate networking. Why didn't I go into software development? Well, the cool thing is you can still do that. You can still get into software development. You just have to start learning programming, basically. But you can do it. Like, there's nothing that there's a hard stop that you can't switch whatever field of practice you're really looking to get into. You can do it. What's going on, Chris Howitt? Happy New Year to you almost as well. It's good to see you. Always love to see you. Chris Howitt, you should come on for a live stream, bro. Let's do it right now. I'm going to Skype you in or Zoom you in. You ready? Let's do this. Do I want to work for the DoD or federal since you have the Security Plus, which meets DoD directive? Danny, I would definitely consider working for the government. I don't know that I would meet all of their requirements necessarily. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider working for the government for sure. I love our government. I love things about our government. That's what I should say. That's the best way to say it. And if I could help people by working for the government, then I want to work for the government. You know what I mean? Like, if I had the opportunity where I could work for the government and help people, then it'd be hard for me to turn that down. You know, it's like, if I had the choice between working for the government and helping people and making a good salary, or working for like a Fortune 500 company where I maybe make more money, but I know their objectives are, you know, terrible basically, and all they care about is money, I'd probably work for the government. You know what I mean? I'd rather help people than I don't care about lining people's pockets and stuff like that. That's a whole nother video that I could get into right there. But anyway, thank you, Dakota, you freaking jerk. Appreciate the $5 super chat. You the man, dog. Let's see. Kenneth says they already have 3 years in network security and 2 years in software security. Never certified because you prioritized finishing your bachelor degree and you feel you became irrelevant in the industry. No, that's not true. Get some certs, bro. You'd be all good. Would I recommend CCNA to every guy, even if you have MCSE? I don't recommend the CCNA to anybody unless they specifically want to get into networking. There's no point in getting the CCNA unless you are going to hold a job that has something to do with networking. Like, if you want your CCNA because it looks cool on your resume, like, whatever, go ahead and waste your time, basically. But don't get your CCNA unless you want to go into networking, because, you know, what the heck, that's what it's there for. Get your Network Plus if you're really worried about having something to do with you know, like if you're worried about having some type of skills for networking, get a Network Plus. The CCNA is a little bit overboard, if that makes sense. So somebody asked earlier, like, what I do now, and I've been like, so right now, like, my full-time gig is YouTube. This is what I do full-time. I do consulting on the side for a business that I used to work at. I do all their mobile device management. I go in there. I haven't been in there because I've been sick, but I go in there a couple days a week and help them with their mobile device management. So as far as your question, Jonathan, how much downtime do I have between projects? Well, I mean, I kind of set my hours with the projects that I have for the MDM stuff. So when I go into work, I don't have any downtime. All my time is dedicated to exactly the things that I'm doing for the mobile device management. So there's that. So no downtime. But when I was working before, prior to this, when I was their full-time mobile device administrator, there was downtime. You know, I would say all in all, like all the IT jobs that I've had, there was always some downtime. Like sometimes you have to make downtime for yourself. Like even if things are just absolutely chaotic, like if you can spare like 5 or 10 minutes, like you have to do that sometimes just to like refresh your brain. Because if you're just diving deep into the weeds like constantly and you're constantly in just chaos, it's not going to be good for you. You're going to screw something up. So it's always good to make sure that you can have downtime, whether it's downtime that you would just get randomly or you actually make that time. You have to do it. Did I do something else for a career, or have you always been in the IT field? I mean, I've pretty much always been in the IT field for a career. That's what I've done for the last like 17, 18 years of my life, pretty much. In the year of 1999, I started developing websites. And then in the year of 2000, I started selling websites. And then everybody was like, Zach, you know about computers? Because I do websites, right? I know about computers. That's not really how that works. But everybody kind of assumed that's how it worked. So back then, everybody's like, can you help me with my computer? And I'm just a nice guy. So I'm like, yeah, I'll help you with your computer, even though I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I would help people with their computers and stuff like that. And I was, let's see, 2000, I was, how old was I? 15? 16 in 2000? Yeah, that's how it all started. And then when I was 18, I got my first job in a computer lab for a school district. Not a school district, for a school. So that's kind of how I got my start. That's like a roundabout way to tell you how I got my start. And Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Thank you, IT Career Skills, you freaking jerk. Love you, bro. Which is more relevant in IT, AS degree in networking or CompTIA Network Plus? Well, a degree is going to be more relevant. All right, what's the average? How do you stay motivated in a new job, Steven? It's a new job, man. You should be motivated. You should be motivated, like always. I mean, why wouldn't you be motivated in a new job? Like you're going to be learning a lot of new things. I mean, that sounds exciting for me. Like I always love the excitement of starting new places. What's the average contract for a CCNP, RS in USA? I live in Italy and don't know the average pay in USA. Happy New Year's. Lorenzo, I would just check out Indeed.com and you can look up like CCNP. You'd literally just type in CCNP and set the location for USA, and it'll give you a rough idea. But again, it's going to vary. Like I can't tell you, like you could look online and Google it. You could say like average salary for somebody with their CCNP, right? I could do that right now. I could do you a solid. Let's do you a solid. There we go. Average salary, CCNP, USA. See, and this just seems so ridiculous to me. The salary for a CCNP certified professional starts at $41,000. That seems awfully low for somebody with their CCNP, but maybe. And this is another problem with like people who get certifications and stuff like this, right? Who have no experience, like zero experience, and you go out and get your CCNP. So just because you have zero experience, your only certification is your CCNP. You think you're going to go out and get like a networking job? Probably not. The odds of that happening are very slim. So you could have your CCNP and you might start off in the help desk because you have no idea how a business organization works. And the only proof that you have to show anything or anything at all is that you have a CCNP. Well, that's great that you have your CCNP. I'm very happy for you. However, anybody can study for their CCNP and then go and pass their CCNP certification, right? Like, literally almost anybody can do this. But the fact of the matter is you don't have anything to show to back up that CCNP. You don't have the experience to show that you know how to configure a network. You don't have any provable experience. You don't have maybe references to show that, yeah, you've configured this network and you've managed this network and blah, 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 blah. You only have a certification that says that you've studied and now you have a certification. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Because this happens frequently where people go out and get these ridiculous certifications. Not that they're bad. They just get the, they have no degrees, no experience, no other certifications, but they're going to go out and get like their MCSA and MCSE and then think that they're going to be like a sysadmin or something. Or in this case, you go out and get your CCNP and you think you're going to be a network admin. Well, you don't have any experience. So how do you think you're going to get a job being a network admin just because you have your CCNP? It's highly unlikely because you have no idea how a business environment works. Just real talk, sorry. Juan, would you need the Network Plus and Security Plus to work for the government? I think the government requires the trifecta as an A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus. How do I work full-time on YouTube? I just do it. I've been doing it for the last year now. It's been amazing. It's been quite the journey. Chris Howard, I was just kidding on the Skype because I use Zoom, bro. But I will Zoom you in if you want to get in on this right now. I will set up the Zoom call and I will put you on the stream right now if you want to do it. We can do it. Let's see. Ebenezer says in Ghana, Africa, without a degree, most companies don't even recognize your professional certificate. What is your advice on that for someone like me without a degree and not will do it? Well, I mean, if your country specifically really holds a high regard with degrees, that might be something you have to look for or look into doing. But it's really hard. Honestly, you might just really have to try to get your foot in the door at some entry-level role and try to work your way up. But it's really hard for me to tell you what to do in another country because I don't know how all the different politics and things like that work within, IT environments outside of the U.S. How do you contact an IT firm for an internship? You call them, you email them, you walk in their front door and bring a resume with you and make sure you're wearing something nice and fancy and tell them, hey, I want to intern for your business. I'm really interested. I mean, really, that's you actually sometimes might actually have to go into there and do that. My internet connection is great for streaming. You wish the internet was in Australia was that great. I'd pay for a business line. I hope my internet connection is good because I pay out the butt for it. It's ridiculous. Will you land the same jobs with a CCNA Security and a Security Plus? Which one should you get? Well, I mean, they're kind of two different certifications, so what is it that you want to do? No, I was referring to the CCNP Killer Goalie. So yeah, I'm going to talk about your statement right now, Killer Goalie. You said the job market is very strange now. They want BS certs and 5+ years of experience for some entry-level positions. So anytime that I see stuff like that on job postings, you guys have to understand that job postings are wish lists, and companies are wishing that whoever are applying for these jobs meet all of their requirements that they want. They want everybody to meet their wishes. However, that's not how the real world works. So even if you meet a few of their requirements, apply for the job anyway. Chris, if you really want to get on, man, I will Skype you in on this, bro. I keep saying Skype because it's like a term. It's like the whatever term I'm looking for here. Man, you really want me to get into the whole YouTube thing right now? I can't get into the whole YouTube thing. YouTube does not pay me enough money, I'll tell you that. Like, YouTube itself is not where I make my monies. Sorry. Like making dollars from Google specifically. What if you have no experience in IT and all, but you have your A plus, Security plus, Network plus? What can that do for you? Excuse me. That can get you an entry level job for sure. Yeah, I think I was basically referring. Adriano was referring if you do have your CCNA and your CCNP. I was just using the CCNP as more of a top level cert for the story that I was kind of telling you about. How do you write a great cover letter? There's a lot of services out there that can help you with that for sure. Do I think it's better to work for an insurance company in the tech department or for a tech company? I mean, each organization is going to be completely different, so it's really hard to say. Sorry, I have to get some water. It's really hard to say what's going to be better. Oh, hang on, I got to get signed into Zoom and all this. Let's do this. Live chat. Best jobs in IT for 2019. Anything with AWS? Probably. And programming. Programming, AWS, cybersecurity. Those are all really good. I'm gonna have to get some water, so let me be right back. I don't know what I'm always gonna put this advertisement thing on, and I apologize, but I really have to go get water, so hold tight.
If you are looking to learn more about IT or study for one of the many certifications, sign up for a free trial of Pluralsight. Their vast library offers many courses ranging from software development, IT operations, and cybersecurity. Please check the link in the description for more information. If you are looking to learn more about IT or study for one of the many certifications, sign up for a free trial of Pluralsight. Their vast library offers many courses ranging from software development, IT operations, and cybersecurity. Please check the link in the description for more information. If you are looking to learn more about IT or study for one of the many certifications, sign up for a free trial of Pluralsight. Their vast library offers many courses ranging from software development, IT operations, and...
All right, sorry about that. I really had to get water. I was dying. So I am going to get Mr. Chris Howitt in on this real quick. I'm going to pull him into the stream. There he is. So as soon as I get him pulled in, we'll talk about who Chris Howitt is. I'm really excited about this now. I have to put headphones on though too.
All right. I hope you guys can hear me now. Had to do the switch. Thoughts on web development design? I think that's a great field. More so the web development. I wouldn't say the design too much. I mean, unless that's something you're really interested in. Uh-oh. Got Chris coming on. I'm going to turn this down here real quick. What up? Yo, not much. How you doing? Good. Perfect. Perfect. Good, good. You ready? I'll put you on the stream. Yeah, as long as you're in the stream, you'll see what's going on. All right. There we go. All right. So, everybody, this is Chris Howitt. I'm going to have you do the introduction. Why don't you tell people who you are? Because I think a lot of people who actually have come to this channel before have seen you in the live streams, or if they're on the Discord, they've seen you there. So tell us about you.
Oh man, we got the elevator pitch. Evidently, I've got to give. I'm currently with the director of security architecture with Live Nation Entertainment. For anybody who doesn't know what Live Nation Entertainment is, we also own Ticketmaster, House of Blues, a number of the musical festivals. I'm sucking on a cough drop at the same time. It's completely professional, by the way. Let's see. I've actually been in the security game for years. Not only on the entertainment side, I used to work for NBC, Universal, as well as in the banking world for Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi for quite some time before that. I'm just going to toss it out there. I actually met Zach at Black Hat. I have a Black Hat hat, but I didn't want to, you'd be like two people showing up in the same outfit.
Well, duh. I mean, that'd be fine. Whatever. It's rocket, man. I mean, you got the DEF CON hat on, so that works.
I have like a plethora of stupid hats here, but yeah. But yeah, actually, I think I think we ended up meeting at Black Hat because actually prior to that, I had reached out because I've had for everybody in the live stream who have been asking questions and who participate in Discord. I'm in the middle of my career. I've had a terrific career within security. I love the job. I've got a passion for it. But I have a lot of people who ask me, how do I get into IT? How do I get into the tech field? And we're not just talking security either. We're talking, whether it be programming or network and stuff like that. And your channel is the one I end up recommending to people. There are other folks on YouTube who try and give their 2 cents, but I think you've got it down. I mean, you've really, yeah, totally. You've got the everything from the basics, from the interview process. Obviously, actually, I loved the last the outfit you bought and all that stuff, kind of thing. I mean, really, you're boiling it down to everybody of what needs to get done, as opposed to other folks where they'll just give kind of a here are the certifications you need. Here's what you need to throw on your resume, and then they send you off, which is not enough. So really, I've got at least 3 or 4 folks who I've sent to Zach's channel, and I know subscribed to that who wanted to get into the IT field. So that's how we met, really.
Yeah. And I owe you so much because I'd never been to Vegas, and I told you that before. When we were talking over the phone and talking over email, and you're like, well, if you want me to, bring you around, I'll do it. And you did. And I so appreciate that, because that was the best experience I had when I was out there, was being able to walk around. So
I was glad. I was just happy to meet you. I mean, to be honest, it was kind of like, I knew you were going to be busy with the task you already had at hand. But I figured it's Vegas. You got time to grab a beverage later in the evening. Did so. Obviously, we have a lot of, when nerds gather.
Yeah.
You met a number of my coworkers. It was a lot of fun. And really, it's is my dog back there? Somebody's actually mentioned the puppy in the live stream.
Yeah, it's on your couch or something.
Yeah, that is my once again another great benefit of this industry, whether it be anything with IT. I do a lot of remote work, and so really my my work companion here is my dog. So, anyways, but yeah, it's a great industry. For those of you who want to get into IT in any aspect, it's lucrative, and really we don't have enough people. Definitely, I can speak from the security side. If you do the research, we do not have enough engineers. We don't have enough analysts. And if for anybody who wants to jump into it more than I'm thrilled, Zach, that you're jumping in the Security Plus and your CCNA. As far as those certs, those are definitely ones that I recommend.
Well, here's something for you, because it's something that you actually talked to me quite a few times about. Is how you recommend the CCNA and how much value you put on that. Why is that? Why do you like the CCNA so much for security? Like this, when you're telling me about it, you're talking to me from the security side of things. So what's so important about that?
The security's got a lot of different aspects to it. I mean, and some folks, I know some folks when they talk about it, they want to go into 99% of the time I hear folks they say, I want to hack, I want to pen test, and that's great. But in top of that, there's really a lot of other roles within security that need to be filled, whether it be compliance, whether it needs to be architecture, which is intense, which is currently my bag, whether it be even security operations. Underlying all of those is definitely a need to understand network, to understand basic network concepts. And I don't mean necessarily just going into a router and being able to configure the router and switching, but really basic understanding of how a network works, subnetting, really how routers will talk to each other, even externally, not necessarily for an internal internet, but on the intranet as well. Really trying to give yourself an understanding of how computers talk to each other, because that's really the foundation of all that. And so if you have a good foundation on networking, that's the first step, in my opinion. My very, very, very humble opinion. After that, any security certs you get on top of that are just the next layer and next icing on top of that to give you the skills you need to really take on the bad guys and play defense and help out companies that need security, because everybody needs security. I mean, if you've seen the news,
yeah,
whether it be Target, Equifax is huge for everybody. That was a big shakeup. Yeah. So. Yeah. And if anything, it's been, everybody tries to avoid that, but once again, these things happen, and when that stuff happens, we need more engineers out there to be able to help out and respond to that stuff.
Yeah. So I know this is something that you've mentioned it in the chat in a live stream before, I believe, and also on Discord that you guys were trying to hire somebody. You were trying to hire an analyst position or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm actually hiring for a security architecture role right now. It'd be on my team. It would be a slightly seasoned role, so you definitely would have to have networking background.
Yeah, can you tell us about like what it is that you're looking for that type of role?
For that particular role, well, let's see. Where I am currently in that particular role, three major layers that we have to get associated to that. One is definitely an understanding of networking. CCNA would definitely prove that, or give us an idea of that you understand at minimum the basics. So it really is kind of like what most places are going to need. You'll understand the concepts of not only routing and switching, but also things like proxies, load balancers, you name it. That's number one. Networking is like fundamental. Second, and you mentioned this early in the stream, for the hot jobs really for the next year, AWS is one of the things that in this particular case I'm looking for. Cloud is huge. Cloud is changing everything we understand about network and how business is done. And just to give you an idea, I'm heavy into AWS. I know there are folks out there who are into Google or Azure. And if you have one preference as far as cloud technologies are concerned that you want to go for, that you want to study, that's cool. I'm just gonna start one tiny blurb about AWS. AWS is 14 times bigger than all the other cloud cloud entities combined. I mean, they're gigantic. And it's not. Yeah, it's not. I was at. I didn't go this last year, but the year before that, I went to AWS reInvent, which is Amazon's cloud convention, and
their cloud party.
The cloud party, and it is a party. It's insane. It's crazy. It's the work that you're doing over there with machine learning, AI, you name it. They're taking the next steps where it wouldn't be long. It wouldn't be surprising, and we're already seeing it. Where a lot of startups are cloud only. It wouldn't surprise me to see that more and more startups and more companies start doing that, especially as Amazon either lowers their costs or makes it even that much more economical to really to perform data center work. So if you're once again another cert, if folks are looking for their future on top of network, if they're looking into network administration or security, will be this is how this happens when I don't hit my do not disturb. The AWS certifications are outstanding, and I would definitely recommend getting in on that now while you can, because really you have a lot of people certified for that, but it's not. I think that it still hasn't been realized by a lot of the industry how much AWS is, or really cloud in general, is affecting everybody. Like I said, I used to work for banking. Cloud was a 4-letter word. I think over there, like, we're not doing cloud, forget it. Now every single bank is getting into cloud. So it's big.
Oh yeah. So that there was one more thing I think you probably slipped your mind with all the chaos.
Sorry, I have a tendency to rant and rave. You have I have networking, cloud. Oh, you know what? And the third one, and this is big. And there is no certification for this, which is the scary part. Soft skills.
Oh yeah.
Soft skills. Yeah, it is amazing when one works on developing their ability to communicate, not only to end users, but to the engineers as well. You need to be able to translate tech, geek, and nerd to the end users who may not necessarily be tech savvy. Despite the fact that we find more and more people becoming tech savvy as businesses advance and expand, there's still a whole lot of folks who don't necessarily work on that skill set and learn how to communicate that. I found that it's been great not only for my career, but I see it actually helping careers of others who, whether it be simply for the interview process, where I've been in some interviews that were just really, really painful to sit through, and other ones where like it's been it's shooting the breeze kind of conversation, because those you're able to talk on that level and do really well. So yeah, once again, soft skills are huge.
Yeah, I think a lot of people undervalue soft skills and how much they're needed when they're starting to look at here's all the things that I need to get into this field, or here's all the certifications and degrees and everything I need to get into this field, right? And anybody can go out and take all the certs and degrees and all that stuff. But nobody kind of takes in consideration that, these soft skills are actually something that it's really a requirement that a lot of places are starting to put more emphasis on for their roles. For what they're hiring for. You see it a lot on applications is, great communication skills, or they put some type of emphasis on that application process about communication skills, because they are very important.
Yeah. And they're not putting them down on there just for, kicks and giggles. When they put it onto that, they really want people who are able to communicate. Usually sometimes you see that because folks who were there before were either the type of engineers or admins who build the wall in front of them, so that the non-technical folks can't peer in and don't necessarily have visibility into what's really going on, or simply the folks just didn't have proper skills to be able to communicate what was going on. Transparency within the industry and internally within security and network, I find in my experience has been very, very important, very key to ensure that really you have smooth operations and you don't have what we call shadow IT of folks running off and doing stuff on their own, whether it be deploying their own equipment or running out, setting up their own accounts they aren't supposed to be setting up under our nose, and then you have heaven for problems like that.
Right.
I think there was a question in there. I think somebody asked if where to apply for the role where I'm at. I do have to say it actually is based in LA. I'm actually in SoCal. Worst case scenario, if that doesn't work out, we can expand on that. But definitely, it's if you're in LA, there's an advantage to that.
I think she would move. I'm pretty sure she'd probably move.
I have no doubt. It's if you go to the livenation.com and go down to careers, click on that. Please apply. Really, we're looking for.
Yeah, so
I am looking. Yeah, I know. I have to pay you for like a commercial.
Right. Right. Well, I used to work with Catherine. She was with the second school district I worked for. She worked there as well. She was a huge influence on me and actually kind of the path that I took
Awesome.
later on in life here. So
Okay.
I owe her a lot. But yeah, she's awesome.
Terrific. Yeah, please.
So I'll send her your way.
Please. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're it's not only here. And at least we're at the place I work. In addition, in any city, and I find I can say this definitely about LA. I can't necessarily speak about this for Silicon Valley or DC or anything like that, but for sure the information security community is tight. It's a very tight community. You end up seeing a lot of the same people at a lot of the same events. We end up going out to Black Hat and DEF CON, and it's weird just to go to a whole other state and just see all the same people that you generally see already. Which one shows that once again we don't have enough people in this industry that we need to try and bring in. And
I don't know. When I went to Black Hat, I have never seen so many nerds in my life. Oh my gosh.
I never really debriefed after that Black Hat one. I know you met a lot of people out there, but
yeah, oh my gosh. Actually, when I went to DEF CON though, like when I was walking through there, like so many more nerdy people. So many more nerds. It was great.
It's a different culture.
Oh, for sure.
And if anything, yeah, I think that if the audience isn't aware, so Black Hat is and I know they've been following on your channel, but Black Hat is definitely the premier security conference that occurs in Las Vegas every year for professionals. It's relatively pricey, and if you're able to get in, definitely in the expo alone, you're going to meet a lot of folks who from different companies representing security. DEF CON is more for the hacker mindset. It's pretty much, I think this last year was like $250 or something like that at the door. You can't buy tickets until you get there unless you pre-register at Black Hat, and that's more along the stuff of hacking voting machines, hacking cars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole village dedicated to picking locks. Yeah, you're right. Different type of nerds. Different type of nerds altogether.
Yeah. I hope I can go next year because I'd really actually like to attend DEF CON. So I wasn't actually able to attend. I got to walk around like real quick, but I wasn't actually able to attend it. So
we'll talk. I'm actually this is not set in stone yet. But I have a friend who actually is on the Blue Team Village team who sets up over there. They were looking for one great thing about DEF CON, if you want to get in, volunteer. That's another thing they need is volunteers. But I might be helping out the Blue Team over there as well this year. So yeah, we'll talk. We'll see what we can do.
All right, that's fine. Well, I mean, we talk all the time anyway. I bother you all the time. Here, Zazin69 has a question. I want to hear your input on this because it's a question I actually receive fairly often, and it's: will virtualization and automation cause mass job loss in IT? What are your thoughts on that?
No. If anything, it's going to change the landscape, but I'm not going to say it's going to cause mass job loss. let me specify the types of things that I see where job loss does occur in IT. Um, is are the folks who are dedicated to one particular type of technology, one particular brand of technology, and don't evolve beyond that. When I was working in the financial industry for security over there, I had a little cartoon in my cube. One cartoon, and it was a dinosaur looking out of the sign that said "Evolve or Die." It was just a reminder to myself, really, and of continually. One thing in IT, you don't sit on your laurels. Whether you are a company or whether you are an employee, you don't sit on your butt all day and do the same thing using one technology only. Otherwise, everything will pass you by. I mean, years ago, 20 years ago, you had folks working for US Robotics pumping out modems that were, hey, we're going to, putting out shotgun modems. These are going to be the fastest thing that consumers are going to want. DSL and cable came along, and that pretty much wiped out the entire dial-up industry altogether. It's only those companies that are able to pivot into new business models that are able to survive. AOL, everybody knew what AOL was at the time. That was to dial in. Now they pivoted into media and to entertainment websites and such instead. It's not the same thing, but it does really well. It isn't. Changing the landscape changes, but virtualization and automation are just part of that evolution. We are seeing, once again, with cloud, tech become more virtualized as we have less and less people putting things in data centers. And then at the same time, automation is huge in security. I mean, everything, if you can automate it, that's what everybody wants to be able to do, because once again, I am speaking for security, the threats that you encounter in security, whether it be malware, folks that are trying to attack in from the outside, insider threats, you name it, it will bombard you. And a lot of the folks I know.
Uh-oh, lost your audio. Yep, yeah. You killed your audio, bro. You want me to call tech support for you? We're gonna have to call tech support for Chris so he can get his audio.
How's
back.
that?
Yeah, that's
testing
good.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
okay.
You got it.
I am not sitting on a business line for my
Sorry.
So maybe that's why. But yeah, virtualization and automation are not going to change folks who are constantly keeping up with technology and keeping up with the industry. You definitely want to stay relevant. Just make sure you don't rest on your laurels. Make sure you don't stay with, oh, I am just an admin for Linux or something like that. This flavor only. Like I only do Ubuntu and that's it. Ubuntu may go away. Maybe we wanted something else, or Red Hat or something like that. Just don't stick with one. Try and be a master of, or at least jack of all trades on all of that, and then you can kind of work your way through it. I definitely don't think that it's really a good idea to embed yourself like that. So
awesome. No, I mean, I agree.
I hope that answers the question. I
don't know. I mean, I actually agree with everything you said, because if you're not evolving, you just get left behind, and then you put yourself out of a job because you're not taking it further with yourself, and you're not understanding the new technologies and how to pivot yourself into your next job.
Right. Right.
So it's all on you.
Which is, once again, why one of the things I thought was just fascinating about your channels was it really is helping a lot of folks with their evolution from whatever it is they're doing into IT, or if they're already in IT, how to advance themselves even further and pivoting into really something, one I'm assuming would be lucrative for them, and on top of that, relevant and up to date. So, it's a good work you do, man.
Oh, you got somebody knocking on your window, it looks like.
No, that is my cat.
Your cat knocking on the window? That's funny.
Yeah.
You got an animal house over there, man.
I do. It's
yeah, cats love them. They're such jerks. They're the best.
This is YouTube comedy right here.
Oh man. God, now I lost train of thought because your cat's knocking stuff over.
Yeah.
Stupid jerk.
This is what happens when you get the live stream, and anything and it can and will happen. So.
Oh, that's fine. It makes it for an interesting stream. Somebody wants to see your cat now.
if he swings by, I will. It's the typical cat that likes to sit on the desk and then sit on a keyboard. Usually, when you have a high priority alert going on, yeah. Right. So
I have kids that like to do that to me. Like, hey, I'm in the middle of a stream. Let me come out and bother Dad. Like, no, guys, come on. I warned you ahead of time. Like, leave me alone.
That's always the fun part when you have conference calls, also for work when you have kids.
Yeah. Oh, screaming their heads off.
Oh yeah, that's always
fun. So, God, I just lost my train of thought again. I don't know. We're gonna do it. You and I are actually gonna do another live stream. You don't know
a formalized one. Yeah, I know this is.
You don't know it yet. Yeah, now you know it.
We've talked about doing a formal live stream, and then I can give the full
rundown,
and all that stuff. It's for I know I've been asked this before on the outside. Some folks have asked what certs I've got. I've actually got my ITIL ITIL version 2, so that's old. CCNA, I have my CCNA security as well. I actually knocked that out the same day that I knocked out my CCNA. My certified ethical hacker, my GSEC, which is a SANS certification. I don't know if you cover. I don't know. I haven't heard you cover SANS a whole lot on this channel. I think I know that I'll tell you right now, that one was probably the most nerve-wracking certification, despite the fact it's technically a basic security certification. It was nuts because it covered the whole gambit of every single operating, Windows, Linux, Mac, breaking down packets, we're using Wireshark, things like that. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
And I think it was like 4 hours in open book, and I still barely made it. So.
Oh man,
we can get into that, but yeah, we're sure there's there's a lot of in my opinion, every certification has its merits. A few of them may even have their downside to them as well, but in the end, really having them under your belt will definitely help get folks in the door at minimum past the HR guards. Because let's be honest, that's really how a lot of the big companies operate. If they have a formalized HR department, is where once your resume gets bumped in, they're going to start looking at what certs you have as keyword searches, and then that helps a lot. So I once again, I think the stuff you're doing is great, and I really think that it's going to be helpful for your viewers and listeners as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that. That. So somebody said they're starting to learn Python. What are your thoughts on Python? How often do you guys utilize Python?
It's heavily, very heavily. Python's it. Learn one thing right now as far as a scripting language or a program. Learn Python. I know you've been getting into it as well. One of the big things that a lot of folks do, written as regards to any company, is the tools that they have. That are security tools, whether it be open source or something they bought, getting the tools to talk to each other. Now, that's part of the automation that was brought up earlier. You got to have everything automated, or at least you're talking to each other to make your life easier, whether you're an analyst, an engineer, or something else altogether. Python helps you with that by scripting everything to make things easier to do. Right. If anything, we managed to put together stuff, things to allow systems to talk to each other and make it easier for even end users who may not necessarily be as technical, accomplish things through like a menu that's in a Python script to get things done. So yeah, if anything, Python's been huge. I don't see it going away.
It's only gotten bigger. Like the last couple of years, I was just reading an article the other day about how much Python has just grown, and it just continues.
Yeah. There's no, for a while we thought it was going to be, Perl or something like that was going to take over, but Python's been so relevant in everything. When I was, I used to do auditing also, IT auditing, part of when I was Yeah, it's okay. It was like I become my own worst enemy at that point. When I was when I was working for the studio system, one of the things we did was actually look at uh, Python hardening for certain things and things like that, and we saw a lot of that happening. So it was like not only being able to script in Python, but do it in a secure way. If you can show that within a portfolio, it'd be great. That's amazing.
That's good.
On top of that, yeah, and on top of that, developers. I mean, you see a lot of people develop apps and stuff like that. Python's, even with Swift, maybe on the iOS side being a little easier to use, Python on the back end is key. So yeah, you're gonna learn something, learn Python.
I agree. I've been trying to learn it, and I mean I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm somebody who just hates programming. So the fact that I actually enjoy it's kind of it really tears at me. I'm like, how have I hated programming for so long and just like despised it, and now I'm like, oh wow, this is actually kind of fun. I want to continue to do this.
Good on you. If it's fun for you, all the better. I mean, I'll be honest, programming for me is like pulling teeth kind of thing, because it's I'll just sit there with my command line and thinking, oh, where do I begin?
Right.
It's but once you get into it, I think at minimum, even if you aren't able to write in Python, if you have problems creating scripts or creating programs in Python, have an understanding of the vernacular, and so at the minimum, you can at least read it.
Right.
For example, with Unix shell scripting, for a very long time, I wasn't able to do that. It was kind of alien to me, but eventually you start reading it to the point where, okay, I may not be able to write it from scratch, but I can read it and know exactly what it's doing. So same with Python, if you can do that, that's really helpful. That'd be very helpful at minimum for troubleshooting, even better for fixing things that are just broken along the way. So you can alter those scripts because you know what variables need to be changed.
For sure. No, I definitely agree with that. I always try to like PowerShell, even now, like with the CLI, with and Linux and stuff like that. Just being able to look at some of the things, even though I might not entirely know, everything I need to know about that specific script or what's happening, being able to read parts of it and have like an understanding, like, oh, well, it's trying to do this, or it's trying to call this, that's helped me out a ton,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
having that fundamental knowledge behind it, I think it helps. Because
I agree.
I mean, it would be difficult for me for PowerShell, for instance. That's something I've had years of experience with. It's still difficult for me to try to write something from scratch in it. But I could take somebody's script and pick it apart and know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that's the in minimum, if for those folks, like I said, for myself who has trouble writing something from scratch, being able to pick it apart is better than not knowing it at all, and it's huge to be able to know how that works.
Right, and the video I just put out last week about the new A+, they added scripting to the new A+ objectives, which is that's crazy. Like, it's really awesome that they've done that, because it just shows you how much scripting is being used nowadays.
Yeah. It's actually, if anything, I think it's also a commentary on the A+ as well. I mean, showing my age at some point, really, when I first started with the A+, or looked at the A+, it was primarily really how to build a box. There wasn't there's barely much anything to that other than, okay, here IRQ settings and things like that. It's a completely new animal.
Memorizing all the IRQs. Forget that. I'm glad I never looked at the A+ back then. I would have stabbed myself in the eyeball.
Agreed. Yeah, back then, I was kind of like, don't get me wrong, I love building boxes and stuff like that, but I don't want to memorize, every single PCI standard out there.
Right. Nuts. So, is there anything else you want to share with everybody? I know you said you only had like a half hour, so I don't know how long we've been going.
What do we got? Oh yeah, I got a couple more minutes, but yeah, I guess we'll do a regular live stream. I guess at some point, and then if it has any questions in regards to security,
go to the Discord server where you hang out all the time.
I'm on the Discord server. I leave that up. It's funny. I leave the Discord server along with my work.
Slack
all the time. Yeah. So it's like I've got like 3 sets of systems on there, or 3 forms of chat on there. God help me if somebody tries to hit me up on Signal at the same time. But and then family members on Facebook. So go figure that. If anybody's got any questions,
and me harassing you on Facebook too.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine. You know what? Actually, here's a big thing. And this once again, I think this is a big thing why Zach and I have met, and we're able to get along as well as we have, and why I admire what you do. Is your mission though has always been helping people. That's been evident since the very, very beginning, and I think that's really admirable. I've got a great career, and thus far there's still more down the road to go. But working in security, I could not ask for a better road to have gone down, and I want to share that with other people. I want other people to find out how to get in security, or really any other form of IT that they want to get into. But there's a lot of stuff that within security that I think is not only helpful to other people and the world in general, just by making things more secure, but really giving folks a path to a great potential set of jobs that they can apply to and go for. So I want to help you out with that. Anything I can for this next live stream. If anybody has any questions, queue them up, get them ready. When Zach announces the live stream, we'll do it. If you want to reach out to me directly, a big thing. Let me add this. This is my number 4 actually also, and this was actually taught to me by a coworker who went to USC. Personal branding is oddly enough very big within, I think, almost anything within IT. Having your Twitter, Instagram account, something public that shows you are, but not necessarily, your cat photos or your dog photos or anything like that, but showing that you're communicating with the rest of the industry, or that you have a beat on the industry. If you follow my Twitter, you can see that it's at Howitt on Twitter. You'll see that it's mostly, you've got some personal stuff, but at the same time, it's got sprinklings of security information, particularly when you have large breaches or anything like that might affect you, or something to the fact. One of the recent things we've seen is that had been on the news was Facebook was giving access to personal, your chat messages to certain companies, including Netflix. Crazy, huge potential violation of privacy, whether that falls in, and then there's a legal aspect of that that's completely debatable, but it's something people need to know. So if you are on top of that and you can show companies that you are also on top of that and broadcasting that as well, it's impressive. It's impressive. It shows that you are on top of things. So please, feel free to hit me up there if anybody wants to. But in the meantime, we'll be on the live stream later and taking questions. And we can chat away, Zach.
Right. It's at HOWITT, right?
That's me.
Yeah. So put it in the chat. Yeah, they can find you on the Twitter. They can tweet at you.
I think IT Career Skills is asking what's our favorite con to attend.
Yeah, what's your favorite con to attend?
Oh, that's tough because, like, once again, the security geek in me still loves Black Hat and DEF CON. It's actually the triple threat, and Zach, you need to go to this too.
B-sides
is it's like a whole nother culture on top of that. So it's a lot of people seem to they're kind of tend to know each other, but it's a lot more intimate as opposed to DEF CON, which I love DEF CON, but B-sides has that small con feel kind of thing. So I would definitely I love going to those three. If I can't go to Black Hat, then just hitting DEF CON and B-sides is awesome. If I had to do a second place, it would be AWS reInvent, but that's only because Amazon just has an amazing set of resources that are available to folks who want to get in cloud. So okay. If we want to get
if you just look at it, it just looks like a big giant party.
It's
like, oh my gosh.
They closed the night with a huge party with, I forget who I think this past one was, I don't remember this past one. I remember my first night of AWS reInvent, the opening DJ was Shaquille O'Neal. And won by DJ Diesel, and then they closed it out with like DJ Snake, I think, at the end of it. But yeah, it's not a cheap. That's not a cheap comp by any means whatsoever. You get a lot of information out of it, probably more than you deal with. If you are not ever able to attend AWS reInvent, though, all the videos and all the talks should go up online. Like weeks, if not earlier than that, afterwards. But definitely, I personally prefer the security ones just because you're able to interact with the folks in the community and get perspective on solutions that maybe you didn't have before.
Yeah, I learned a lot just from going to Black Hat. I mean, that was a great experience. I hope I can go again next year. I'm hoping with the
I
Learn
I hope you
Cybersecurity
can.
channel that we can make some things happen.
If hey, between IT career questions, learn cybersecurity, we could even set up a meetup at that point. I have no doubt, because that's, I'm sure you have other folks who will be interested in knowing what talks they should jump into, and where to go. And if anything, that is one thing that can be I've met a number of folks who said they were just intimidated by Las Vegas. I don't blame them. It's a big city with a lot of noise.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
During Black Hat, actually, there was one young man from University of Pennsylvania who had won a scholarship to Black Hat. He had no idea where to go. I just said, hang with me and the guys, you'll be okay. It's always nice if you don't know anybody at those conferences, to find somebody. I'm sure, I have no doubt this next year we can make that happen for anybody who wants to attend.
Yeah, for sure. That would be fun to set something up for next year.
Yeah.
I'll have to start planning that out. Hopefully, we can make something happen. But
Yeah.
really quick before we end this thing here, Zazen69 asks quick tips for people looking to get into IT. I kind of do those all the time. So what are your quick tips? Love to hear your opinion, your thoughts.
Quick tips relating to IT. Learn what it is you want to focus on first. What it is, I think you commented on this before. What is it that you have a passion for, that you're interested in? IT is vast. IT is huge. And if you don't know the path of the roadmap that you want to take, which once again, watching these channels and doing the research would help out a lot. Learn what it is you want to do, and then you can figure out how to get there. The biggest quick tip is, okay, if you want to, from my personal experience as far as security is concerned, if you want to get into security, learn networking. Very, very first tip. Subnetting at the minimum. If you don't take your CCNA, or you don't even take the Network Plus or any of the network, learn subnetting and at least show that you understand it, so that there is communication during an interview or something like that. You can show to the interviewer, I understand networking to this level. If you can get past that and understanding the concepts behind router switches, proxies, and stuff like that, research that as well. That's really, if you're going to get into any of the engineering level stuff, whether it be network or that, or security, understand the networking. Also, other quick tips: read about the news constantly. I know some folks hate to read the news constantly, stuff like that, but from a security standpoint, things spin on a dime. You'll find companies going up and down, getting bought and sold. You want to stay on top of that. You want to know what companies are what they're doing, what their next technology is. It wasn't that long ago that all we needed was antivirus on our boxes, and that was it. There's now the big consensus of maybe antivirus. There are some companies that are actually saying, to heck with it. We're not going to use antivirus. We're not going to put our antivirus on our boxes at all. We'll do it on the perimeter. We'll do it on the firewall, and we'll put other things locally on the computer. There are different schools of thought on how to get things done with security. Research that, learn how to do that, find out what everybody's doing, because it's different for everybody. That's not so much as a quick tip, because there's a lot of work involved with that. But I think the last one really, just on my own mindset, is join a community. Really, with the folks here at IT Career Questions. If you have something local for your meetup, meet people, get out there. I actually attend at least 3 or 4 different communities here in the LA area. Including cloud security, OWASP, and things like that. We've got an application security conference coming up next month. You meet a lot of people there that are more than happy to talk to you, and regardless of where you are in the industry, you're going to find that even the guys who have the letter C in front of their name are very approachable, who attend those things, and can give you tips on how to get into their particular company, or if they have tips on really spaces that are hired for folks who may not necessarily have a full background already to go.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I'll definitely get something on the books with you soon, hopefully. And then we can actually schedule the stream so everybody can tune in and ask all their questions, and hopefully we get some questions in beforehand so that we can have some stuff queued up to talk about. I know one thing I want to talk about a little bit is application security that you just mentioned. But just talking about some of the different careers, like entry-level stuff, like entry-level careers within cybersecurity, and your thoughts on them and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's a whole world. I mean, like I said, as a lot of the folks they think about information security as solely hacking or pen testing, which don't get me wrong, it's fun. I can definitely tell some war stories as far as that's concerned. But I think I've shared a couple of them with you already on top of that. But for sure, there are other facets to information security as far as the careers are concerned that we need people. I can't not stress that enough. This industry needs more analysts, and there was some number that says we literally need millions as time goes on, because every company is going to have some form of team set up for these type of things.
Hey, I'm writing something out here.
Yep. I'm just seeing if the NPC questions are. I think by the way, Landon V, who mentioned Violent Python as a book, that's a great Python book. I have that actually. That's an outstanding Python book. It's kind of on the advanced level, but for sure, if you want to talk about using Python for hacking, that's a great book.
I'll have to check that one out. Even though I hate books. Do they have that in like an Audible or something?
I cannot imagine a Python book in Audible. It would be real slow.
That would be terrible. I'd probably cry.
Oh man, yeah. But if you're what was that? If you're here's your Audible commercial. If anybody is interested in hearing Audible books about security in general that are not technical as far as learning stuff is concerned, anything by Bruce Schneider is great. He's fun. Kevin Mitnick is always a fun read. He's more, you end up kind of learning he's really more of a social engineering hacker than a hacker, but for sure.
That's why I like him so much.
yeah. There's still respect. I mean, for anybody, there's a certain stigma among certain folks within the information security that said, he's not really a hacker because he's social engineering. You try and social engineer your way into, energy company or something like that, or telco. That's not easy. So, that one of the fun things at DEF CON is the social engineering village, where you're watching people just get on the phone and kind of con their way into stuff. It's fun to watch.
On the Learn Cybersecurity channel, I really want to go through like a scenario of social engineering, like something that I could, not potentially would do because I would never do it, but just how a engineering campaign could work. But right. I'm terrified that YouTube will see it and be like, "Oh, you're done. Don't ever do that again." You know what I mean? Because I would love to create a fake website and send out emails and just go through this not a huge scenario, but this little scenario that you could potentially use, right, to engineer someone.
If oh man, I'll squeeze this in right now. I still can. Social Engineering Toolkit in Kali, written by Dave Kennedy. He's occasionally you'll see him actually pop up sometimes on Fox News as a head, because he runs a company called Trusted Sec. I actually had the benefit of sitting down with him one time and he showed me the full blown toolkit. This is before he got really, really big. I did not take advantage of that because I didn't realize who he was at the time, because I was brand new to the security community, so I feel really stupid for that. But I mentioned this, I think, in one of your previous tweets before. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it or not. Him and Kevin Mitnick on stage at DEF CON, social engineering company that had been kind of pre-vetted by Dave Kennedy to try and break into. I was in the audience for that. The audience was dead silent because it was amazing to watch them con their way into getting to compromise and really just pop a guy's box. And once again, leveraging PowerShell afterwards and just owning this company within a matter of minutes. I'll find the link if I can, and I think it's sent your way, but I'll find the link and send it. It's actually on for one of the DEF CON conferences, which was just amazing. So you want social engineering
3 years ago would have been
something like that. Yeah.
I got the link.
More. Yeah, my shoulder's in there somewhere, kind of thing. But it's amazing. It was an amazing thing to watch.
It says Kevin Mitnick live hack at DEF CON, but I don't see anything about No, it says they use the social engineering toolkit to run the exploit. Oh, and there's the link. Oh, maybe this could be it.
You'll know it's there if there's a guy dressed as a chicken.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a chicken on stage.
Okay. You guys is dressed as a chicken on stage. That's the one. It's a great view. I mean, really, any of the DEF CON talks are great. Some are better than others, but that one was just amazing to be a part of. You know, it was like watching watching masters at work kind of thing. I could not talk enough about that. But yeah, I mean, that's what you want to talk. You want to touch on social engineering? That's a great way to necessarily do it so you don't get kicked off YouTube or anything like that, but definitely show like, this is what they do.
I know. I got to be careful. There is definitely like a scenario that I want to run through. Like, if I ever wanted to test a company, like these are the things that I would do. This is how I would see if I could essentially hack or social engineer my way into gaining more information or access to their servers or whatever the case may be. But I have like this whole scenario built in my head. Like this would work. Like this is what I would do, and I know it would work. You know what I mean?
This is how I'd rob this bank.
Right? Not that.
No, I know. But that's here's the thing: is that you're finding more and more pen testing companies not only leverage the networking side of breaking into companies, but they're also leveraging social engineering as well to test their own people to find out if they are security savvy enough to recognize somebody who's trying to con them and break in.
That's what I did at my last job. We used KnowBe4. We send out like fake phishing emails and stuff like that. But as I was going through it, like all the different KnowBe4 like scenarios and stuff they had, I was like, they're missing something here. Like they're missing like a huge one that would like totally work. I'm like, I want to do it. I'm not going to say what it is because
hang on to that. Yeah.
It would take a little bit of work to do, but I mean, all in all, like it would probably take me like 3 hours to put this together and to launch it and then like just reap the benefits per se.
That's not bad. Yeah,
not that I would like do it, I mean, I would do it to test a company out or something like that, but I would never like collect the information maliciously or anything like that.
No. Yeah. That obviously crosses that line that none of us want to get into, but for sure, if it's something that you can offer up and say, hey, this is a feature set for my pen testing offerings that I can give you. If it's a unique angle that KnowBe4 doesn't take or any other pen testing company doesn't take, go for it. I mean, that if anything, that adds a value to.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it being used that I know of. I'll chat with you about it offline. Or off the stream. We'll talk about it.
I can't stop. I'm sorry. I got one person asking. I think Zach, I literally called Zach your friend. They're asking about GDPR and data security. GDPR is the European version of standards that need to be taking place for data security. There's a whole subset or maybe a major set of IT security that deals with that. So yeah, that's big as well. We'll get into that later, but for sure, don't that's not small potatoes. That's definitely a very, very large aspect of info security that people have very, very full careers on.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're good for now. I think we covered a lot for our very what's the word I'm looking for? Just like a quick pull you into this live stream and chat with you. It's very random.
That you were on. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll hop on and see how it's going.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the offer.
We'll get something scheduled. So we'll make it a little bit more official, and we'll give you more time to talk about some of the things that you do, and you can share more of your knowledge because I greatly appreciate it. Might even do it over at the Learn Cybersecurity channel because that'd be the best place for it, right?
That it would. It would. I think that's where most appropriate to be. But and if let me know where you need me, I'll definitely be there because definitely it's once again it's I definitely love helping out folks. And if I can assist you in doing so.
I appreciate it, man. Really do. Really do. So that's all we got for today's live stream. Thank you, Mr. Chris Howitt, for coming on and chatting with everybody and sharing your thoughts, experiences, and all that. It's greatly appreciated, and I hope you have a wonderful new year. And just like the other viewers, I hope you guys have a great new year too.
Same to you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys all have a great and amazing day.